My name is Nolan James McKay Querns. I'm 18 years old, going on 19 in a couple months. When I was about 3 years old, I was diagnosed with something called Asperger's syndrome, which is a form of high-functioning autism. What that means for me is reading subtle social cues like facial expressions, body language, stuff like that. It's harder for me to pick up than the average person.
I met Nolan a couple months ago through mental health meetings that Youth Unlimited is a part of. My experience with him, he seems like such a nice guy, down to earth, very easy to talk to.
He's such a big, strong guy that he kind of scared people sometimes because he would just come across as being angry and bullish but it was all directed at himself. It was never at anybody else. And really those that knew him knew he was as harmless as they would come because he was just frustrated with himself.
It's a weird feeling, not fitting in. It's almost hard to describe and put into words.
I started developing anger management issues. I wasn't nearly as comfortable trying new things anymore. My social skills were not very good for a while. Even in grade 6, I remember getting phone calls from other students' parents to tell me to stay away from their kids. Switching to high school, it started out pretty well. I made some friends. There was an incident that happened in January where I was getting really anxious. We were playing dodgeball. When I went on, there's a guy a couple feet in front of me. I tried to whale him, but I whiffed entirely. So I lost my ball. He had his own ball. He started chasing after me and he clipped me in the heel. And I spun around and clocked him. And everyone in the class right after, they were just like, dude, what the hell is your problem? And I don't know, I just knew right at that point that my social life was over. Later on in the year, I went to Talk at the Top and I saw some youth speakers and I thought, you know what, that's awesome. I want to do that same thing. That's so cool how so many people are so open. I talked to Ms. Yo afterwards and I said, you know what, I want to do the same thing in my school. When I was taking social justice, there was a discrimination unit and I decided to do the Amanda Todd story with a couple of international students. And at the end of the video, I brought up a little bit of my bullying story. And after that, just hearing the reaction from the social justice class, I thought that I might as well just take it to a bigger scale.
I got a text message from the vice principal up there saying, you won't believe what Nolan just did. And she sent me a video of what he had done, and he'd made this amazing presentation in front of the entire student body in the bleachers, full to the rafters, and he got up and talked about something very personal for him and knocked it out of the park.
I had coffee with Nolan one day. He shocks me because he says, hey, I just spoke in front of my school on Friday. Sorry? On a microphone? So this anxious kid speaks in front of 300, pours out his life story, standing ovation, other kids come along and say, man, that's what I needed to hear. Thank you for sharing.
Teenagers, they know a lot and they have a lot to share, and it's really wonderful when they tell their story from that age.
A standing ovation was the last thing I expected. It's you see what kids are like at an assembly. It's yeah, they're wanting to get out of there. And clearly that didn't happen there. It captured everybody.
Those last couple words, my name's Nolan, I have Asperger's, thank you. Immediately 2 seconds later, I saw the choir students just stand up on the bottom row, and then less than 2 seconds later, everyone was up. And honestly, I was incredibly shocked to see that kind of reaction out of the entire school. I don't think there was a single person that was sitting down at the end of my speech. I had so many students come up and talk to me afterwards. I literally felt like the most popular kid in school.
The youth workers that he's worked with have really been, they're able to listen to him and not be a parent role.
Having that older person in your life to lead you in the right direction and give you advice and stuff, it's such a life-changing experience.
It's been really rewarding being able to talk to someone, so I can imagine it being just as, or maybe even more rewarding if I were to give back to other people the same way that Andrew gave back to me.
We talk about, hey, what if we start a group that actually advocates for mental health, that we share our weekly and daily struggles, that we dream about how we could impact other schools or speak in front of other large audiences.
Basically, I don't want to be seen as an angry guy anymore. I know I've had my struggles, I've done some stupid things in my past, but I'm a changed guy and I want people to know that. I want to be able to start over and just I want people to see the new me.